What's happening, people? And we are live on Views. Everyone's a pundit. This is episode 68, and we got something different for you today as this international break. I thought, you know what? Let's do a Manchester United special because there's a few things that I want to get off my chest, but more importantly, I've got some great guests with me, and I want to hear what they have to say about Manchester United, the club that we all love to support, love to hate at times, but you know, it's all love all of the time. So I'm not going to do a great introduction like what my man Usman usually does on his challenge. Man introduces the panel like his WWE or boxing or something. But if you can introduce yourself, please, and let me start with KJ, please. Introduce yourself, let the people know who you are, where you're from, and what you got going on.
Cool. So I'm KJ. My Twitter handle's down below at elite_KJ. I'm from the Football Terrace. You'll find me there doing my thing, you know what I'm saying, trying to have a good time, you know what I'm saying. United makes it hard sometimes. But out there, that's where you find me mostly with my football opinions, what I have to say. I also have my own show on there too called Midnight Vibes. That is where I have become the captain of Vibes FC, also the pastor of the Church of Vibes, and also the leader of the Resistance.
Yes,
we will definitely be getting into the Resistance in the show for sure. But yeah, so yeah, I enjoy what I do over there, and yeah, man, it's all good vibes, man. Good vibes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And those, please go and follow KJ, subscribe to his channel, and follow his journey, man. He's a top guy. And please introduce yourself, Usman.
Yo, first and foremost, thank you for having me on, bro. Yeah, you can follow me on Usman Talks United. Obviously, I got my United channel, hence the United part of the ads. Yeah, so we do daily content on Manchester United Sems. The homies pull through, and we just basically, have a chit chat, slag off the players, slag off the board, most importantly. So if you're into that, then by all means, just come through, you'll enjoy it.
Brilliant. Yeah, man. And you know what? I just want to say I've got a lot of respect for these two individuals. I'm somebody that's always watching people, but not from the red eye perspective, but I'm watching people and their work rate and their work ethic and just gaining and feeding off their energy. And these are two individuals that I have to say work ethic is second to none, and they're putting out great content on a regular basis. So I guess if you're not following them, please follow them and support them, people, yeah? But today we're going to get into it. We are waiting for one more gentleman who's running late, and it will be good when he touches down as well, and somebody else who I admire. But Manchester United, that's what we're here to discuss. That's what we're here to talk about. And today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I believe it's 2 years in charge for him today. 2 years. I think it has gone quick. I think it's gone quick 2 years. You know what I mean?
Is it only 2 years? Honestly, it really feels like longer. I'm not gonna lie.
Me, 2 years. Oh.
2 years, but you know what? We're gonna roll it back. We're gonna rewind because Bobz, Bitz and Bobz, people, is entering the building now. Bitz and Bobz, can you hear us?
Yeah. So what? Can you hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you. You got the mic now, man. Introduce yourself because we've done the introductions for everybody else.
Oh, really? Seriously. First of all, thank you so much for having me on. We had a great conversation this afternoon. I'm sorry I'm late as well because I thought we agreed on 9, but I read 9:30 on the tweet, so I do apologize. My name is Bitz of Bobz. I go by a great intro. That's the most catchiest intro on YouTube. Find me someone that's got better, and I'll call you a liar. I've got a YouTube channel, Bitz of Bobz. Check it out. Also, I host the United show on the Football Terrace. One of my co-hosts is up in the right-hand corner. KJ, big up to you. Big up to Usman, a good guy who helped Bitz and Bobz come along. So yeah, man, that's me, bro. Thanks for having me, man. Big up to you, Sems. Make sure you like and subscribe as well.
Wicked. And yes, no, you know what? I have to apologize actually because I put the tweet out saying 9:30, then realized what I had done, deleted the tweet and put another one out saying 9 p.m. So that's my fault. I was
on the phone to KJ. Literally.
I said to him, oh, I'll see you on the stream in a sec. He's like, yeah, cool. And I'm sitting there like, can't hear yet. Where's this guy? And I was like, yo, Bobz, you come? He's like, oh, 9.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, apologies, man. Apologies.
No, you know what? That's actually my fault because I did put the tweet out initially saying 9:30. So, but you know what? Just as I was saying about the other two gentlemen, Bitz and Bobz, someone who again been watching what he's doing, not from a red eye perspective, people watching his work ethic, watching his content. Bitz and Bobz Meets is something which is different to what we're seeing out there on YouTube. So keep it up, Bobz, man. It's something you're definitely onto something there. And it's brilliant, man. So keep it up. People go and follow, look out for it. And yeah, man. So let's get into some Manchester United chat. I was just saying, Bobz, that we Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has 2 years in charge. 2 years in charge today of Manchester United. So if we was to sort of sum up his time, KJ, if we was to sum up his time as Manchester United manager in these 2 years, what would you say?
Boy.
I would say hot and cold, really. There are some very positive things that Solskjaer has done for the football club, and then there's some very negative things that he's done at the football club, and it's very difficult to, when you're actually trying to be balanced, it's very difficult to say, like, yes, he's been the perfect manager for us, he can go forward, but it's also hard to say, he's the worst manager we've ever had, because that would be also a bit too harsh. Behind the scenes, what he's done, the kind of players he's looking to recruit. I remember under Jose, we were looking to recruit old men, turn into a retirement home, you know what I'm saying? All these old geezers, bruv, coming to the club. Under Ole, that profile of player has changed. If you agree with the kind of players we brought him on or not is a different argument, but he is trying to change the profile player that's coming in. Obviously, we've got a new structure now. Again, whether you believe in that or not is a different story, but it's here. And we have changed as a team. We were broken when Jose left. He's come in, galvanized the squad. We went from 6th to 3rd, currently sitting in 2nd. So those are good things. But there are many negatives, which I'm pretty sure Usman, Bobz, and yourself will touch on later into the show. Especially the cup competitions, style of play, coaching, XYZ. So yeah, it's a very hot and cold time with Solskjaer. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Usman, what would you say about Ole's 2 years in charge as permanent manager, as Jerry said?
Yeah, no, I kind of echo what KJ said to an extent. I think he has done a lot of good work, which of course he does need to be commended for. The analogy I always use for the whole situation is, it's like with Rome, obviously it wasn't built in a day. He's made the foundations for Rome now. The foundations have been laid. We need someone to put the pillars down now, because he ain't the guy to do that for me personally. I think he's done, the most he can do with the situation. There has been negatives, although there has been a lot of positives as well, so I don't want to discredit him from that. I think he's done the most he can. My major issue with Ole, and I've been consistent with that, well, a few things, but one of the things which is quite apparent is he doesn't have the mentality to manage the club. For me personally, some of the comments that he says after press conferences regarding trophies and affiliating them with having ego for trophies and these random quotes. Look, there's one thing protecting your players through failure, but obviously, look, if you lose semi-finals, look, I did basically one of my assignments on Jose Mourinho and Sir Alex Ferguson at uni, so I understand the psychology behind what he's doing. He's trying to protect his players. He's trying to take away the sort of the light of the disappointment. I don't think he genuinely believes that deep down, but he can't be saying shit like that. Like, for me personally, it shows weak mentality. Like, I don't know if you saw what Ten Hag said the other day about trophies or about a winning streak. Someone asked him, on a 20, I think it was 23 or 27 win streak, and he basically said, "What does that mean without trophies?" Ole would never say that. Ole would be sat there, Jose would be sat there patting their own back. And for me personally, to be a manager of Man United, he's done well, but in the crunch moments, he's bottled it time and time again. The 4 semi-finals, okay, fair enough, they're one-off games. But the 2 Champions League games, when we needed 1 point, for me personally, he should have got sacked after then. I thought that was absolute. You needed 1 point from 2 games. That's embarrassing. So yeah, in crunch moments, yeah, I've got it for me. He's done his job. Fair play to him. I'll give him his flowers. But I want to win trophies. It's my United end of the day. It's not charity.
I hear you. Also, Dan United TV, big up Dan, always in the comments. Thanks for the support, Dan. Big up.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's there. He agrees with you as well. Bobz, what would you say to what KJ said and Usman's? Would you echo what they said, or would you then think that something different in sense that Ollie's come in and has taken us higher than or as high as he could go? Do you think that he's reached his ceiling? Do you think he's done well?
Do you know what? I think what we need to realise is that the Manchester United job is a poisonous chalice. Why is it a poisonous chalice? Because Sir Alex Ferguson and David Gill. Okay. When Ollie came in, the club was already in a mess. Changing room was in a mess. Morale of the club, the fan base was already in a mess. Okay. So 2 years, what has he done? He's probably made the best situation out of a bad thing. Okay. And no matter what he does, he's not going to be liked. Okay. I'm one of probably the people that can one day like him, like, well done, Ollie. The next day despise him. Okay? And this is me. I'm being honest here because do you know what? When we talk about Man United, we're not just football. We're not just Man United fans. We're football fanatics. And this is our club, our first love. So this is a serious. Do you know what I mean when we talk about this? And yes, we speak in jest and stuff. For me, in 2 years, he's unfortunate that Liverpool won the Champions League. Liverpool won the league. He's unfortunate that City had their cycle of dominance. And what he came into was a mess. And I don't think he's been trained the best when it comes to media. Because some of the things he says, I'm looking at him like, just don't speak. Okay? just don't speak. Or just deflect. And sometimes he does speak, and I'm like, okay, cool. What did you really mean by that? To answer your question, Semps, right? We know he's not a world-class manager. He's never going to be. And that's no disrespect. That's facts. He's probably taken us as far as we can go under him, under his capability.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you look at the coaching staff, I know you're probably going to touch on that. I just want to just say that your team should represent your manager. Our team represents our manager because he doesn't know. So for me right now, people won't like me saying this. Come the end of the season, you should call it a day.
Yeah. Big comment there. And that actually leads me on to my next point because it's reportedly that he's going to get a new contract. Or is that 30 mil over 3 years or 10 mil a year? And me personally, I'm not somebody who is for that because I echo exactly what you guys say in the sense that I believe that he has done good. It's not been all bad under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As you said, he's come in, and that's why I said, is it all bad? Because like you said, he's come into a bad situation, and I think that he's done as good as he could do. And we're going to get onto the board in a few moments. But for me now, he's not going to take us to the next level. Like what Usman said, he's put the pillars down. Like you say, he's not a world-class manager. If Manchester United to get back to where we want to be, surely we need an elite manager. Now, what do you guys think, Usman? What do you think about him possibly be rewarded with a new contract, irrespective of whether we win a trophy or not? What's your thoughts on that?
That statement is so embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing. How can a club of Manchester United stature be awarding just mediocrity? Like, at the end of the day, I'm old enough to be bantering Arsenal growing up. I know me and Bob's are about the same age. There's about a year between us. I'm sure he would agree. I used to banter Arsenal. You guys are the top 4 trophy. You guys are celebrating top 4 like you won something. I used to banter them all the time because obviously we was in the big boys league, and now we're just a glorified Arsenal with money, basically. I know a lot of people have said it on other platforms, and I completely echo those sentiments. In terms of him getting his contract, look, I'm not knocking it. Look, he's done the best of his ability. If he gets to second and doesn't win a trophy, for me personally, I can't class that as a success. I think it's a good season, but with the caliber of players we've got at our squad, if he does not win the Europa League this season, honest to God, that's pathetic. With the play, we've got Pogba and Bruno midfield with options of Cavani, Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood. I know he's not having a great season, but the guy's a gunman. As a front six, as options, right? We've got Van de Beek as well as a backup. Okay, Matic is getting on, but still, for Europa League, with the caliber teams in there, Arsenal, arguably the best team remaining alongside maybe Roma. If he does not win the Europa League, there's no way he should be manager of Man United. It's as simple as that. If he can't win that trophy, I just don't think he's good. It's just ridiculous. If he doesn't win that trophy, he should not be getting that contract.
I hear you. KJ, do you think that Ollie has earned the right to get a new contract, at least with possibly a second place finish, and irrespective again if whether he wins trophies or not, because some people do believe that is then progress from where he took us over to then third last season to second this season? Do you think he's earned it?
My question is, earned it to who? Earned it to who? Who has he shown and proven to that he deserves this contract? Because it clearly ain't us. It clearly ain't us. Because if it was us, we would be demanding, top four, second, third. All right, cool. You did your job. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Europa League, or at the time, Champions League quarterfinals. Those are the things we would be asking for you to get an extension.
Yeah.
But he's not trying to impress us. We're not the ones giving out the contract.
Yeah.
The people who run this football club, to them, he has earned it. And that is where the issue lies. You can complain about Ollie all you want. Is he good enough? No. He's not good enough to win the league, to win Champions League. I question if he's good enough to win a cup in general. He's not good enough to do that. But for how long will you got a guy who is an employee of a business? And I say business because we're not a football club.
Yeah.
We're clearly not. So has he earned it in the eyes of the pagans and that Walad? Yes. Yes, he has. yes, he has in their eyes. But really, yes, Jerry, my guy, my brother, fam, the pagan, you already know about the pagan, bro. But it's a disgrace that these people run our club and think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
It really and truly, if you are rebuilding and you've got this grand plan and you've got an idea of where the club wants to go and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is part of it, you don't give him 3 years. You give him an extension of 1.
Yeah.
Extension of 1. That means you got 2 years left on your deal because you got 1 more year and you get another 1 more year. Prove to us, we'll give you. They should be giving him the tools this summer coming up to say, go now, win us a trophy. Go now, challenge for the league. Go now, get quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League. That's what they should be doing. Yeah. But they're not going to do that. I'm not a believer in the structure. Not in as in like I think it's a great idea. I'm just literally blind hope that it works. For me, it's true, bro. It's true. Hey, man like Patrick, my brother. Listen. It's true, though. It's true. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that they run a football club. But they're the ones who are impressed by the progress, impressed by the new structure, and they're so happy and chuffed about it. Man making videos about it and that. Does he deserve it? Does he deserve it at the end of the day? In football, in the sense, no. But in terms of being a business club, because that's what we are, and these pagans, he has, unfortunately for us.
So just moving on to the next part of the show, which is the board, because I put a question in there and it said, where are we going? That's the question. And I put that question there because everything what KJ has said, I agree with. If we look at it now, obviously David Moyes was a bad appointment. I don't quite understand that anyway. It's nonsense,
He won a trophy though.
Your community shield. Listen, fam. I can go to my kitchen and get the community shield, bro.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Go get one there.
Hear me out, though.
Go on.
Listen. When they ask him, or they go back in history books, Moyes won one trophy, Van Gaal won a trophy, Jose Mourinho won a trophy, and there's a certain part of this fan base that are saying that Ollie's the man with a better squad than all these three guys. Listen, as you were, Sense. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a great point. Because as we know, anyway, if Ollie wasn't a club legend, then there would be a totally different energy towards him. But what I was wanting to say was you had LVG, which I do think is obviously past it, but he's still an experienced coach. It didn't work out. Jose Mourinho came in, didn't work out, struggled under this regime. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was always going to struggle. So where are we going? Because a lot of people I speak to just believe, even if we sacked Ole tomorrow, what does the next manager do, Bobz, when he comes in? Is that manager able to come in and work under these guys?
No. If he challenges, if he has his own brain, if he has his own vision, his own views, he won't succeed. Now, I'm not saying Ole is a yes man. You can take whatever you want from my words. What I'm saying to you is this. There's a way to succeed in a profession that you are not good at. Okay? And when I say that, if you're not giving me trophies, but you are doing the utmost minimum, you are reaching your objectives. Now, makes me sad, Semps, KJ Usman. We're Man United, and we're doing an Arsenal here. We're making noise about making top 4. Or we're going to make top 4 2 years back to back. Shut your mouth. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I grew up supporting Man United, bullying people in the playground saying your team is dead.
Legit, man, legit.
And you want me to start, popping off in the group chat saying, yeah, we got top 4. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I think where we're going, right? I think our football, it's not football club, it's a business now. We have businessmen making footballing decisions. And unfortunately, right now, the reality for us is that our board see Ole as someone that's not going to challenge them, someone who's just going to come in, you know what I mean, say good morning, log on his computer, eat his cheese sandwich, do you know what I'm saying? Clock back in, say hi to the boys, text them when they want to play COD and that, and go home. Literally. So you can say a yes man. I'm not saying he's a yes man. I'm just saying he's doing enough to stay in a job. And that's where we're going right now. And the point is that there's no ambition, Semps, KJ Usman. There's no ambition because if you're not good at your job, you shouldn't be here. You know? Top 4 shouldn't even be an objective. What do you mean? Yeah, you need to come top 4. Well, Man United, are you dumb? You have to win the league. The Europa League, like Usman said, okay, if we don't win that, listen, hey, Mandem, Usman, you may have to get the coaching badges out. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Don't worry, me and Coach already applying for a job. Don't worry, man. We got this.
But like you said, Semps, yeah, you said something about he's a club legend, right? I said something on Usman's channel months and months ago, right? And they came at me for it. I said he's a club legend, yeah, because he poked the ball into the top corner. We won the Champions League. On Ollie's career, Ole was happy to be a sub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, people are like, oh, he's a legend. But I have to question that mentality. Why were you happy to be a sub? KJ, I know you're coming at me. I know you're going to come at me, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
He's ready.
All I'm gonna say is this, yeah, you know, I'm just saying the mentality, yes, we know football's changed and stuff. Subs are very important, just as much important now. I'm just saying, if we're talking about characters, I'm saying, well, Ollie, your character was okay to be third, fourth choice striker. People are going to say to me, well, that's playing and that's managerial. Well, wait a minute. Why is he getting chosen for the job then? Because of his player abilities, because of what he's done for the club, right? So let's keep the same energy. And I'm not saying he's a bad manager, okay? Because there's managing things he's done really well that, you know, you have to say, well done. The Pogba situation, Lukaku, Sanchez. But for me, yeah, we have to take a step back, look in the mirror and be like, what are we actually doing here?
Bobs, I have to come back on what something that you said about the mentality there. He was happy to be a sub. One, you don't know if he wanted to be a top number one striker, but accepted the fact actually in this team to win things, I have a role to play, and he accepted his role. That's not weak mentality. That's actually quite strong to do.
I never said it was weak mentality.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Sublims, I know the sublims. Also, too, he was in a Manchester United squad that won trophies year in, year out. If he didn't have the mentality to be in that environment, Fergie would have got rid of him.
Absolutely.
He would have. So yes, he may have been a sub and may accepted his role as a sub, but to insinuate, to allegedly say that he doesn't have the mentality, or we have to question his mentality because of his playing career, is unfair in my opinion.
Okay, so wait. What did they call Lampard when he went to Chelsea? A winner. He done it all for Chelsea as a player, right? Did they say that? Or the character, the mentality, the attitude. Surely he's going to do well as a manager. So we can sit here and say, look.
Yeah, but he didn't. He was a fraud as a manager. So.
Well, there you go.
Where you say that? That's Lampard's first gig. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 10 years, 11 years deep into. Yeah, it's his first big gig. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that's a bit harsh.
As much as we want to banter Lampard, I think that was a difficult job for him to take on. He's not quite ready yet, but he's not 10 years plus into his development. Do you know what I mean? So we can't really compare the Ole situation.
Sam, let it be known, I'm not Ole in or Ole out. I back Man United. He's a manager. It's cool. But the same way that I praise him, I criticize him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me,
So basically on the fence, Bob, is that what you're saying?
No, do you know what else? No, but it's a good question.
I've got answers for that. You go, Bob. So I've got answers.
Yeah. When people say to me, "Oh, you're on the fence," no, because listen, I criticize Fergie. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's just that I wasn't on Twitter or social media too tough like that.
Yeah.
And this is what people forget. The media used to be on Fergie's back.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying to you, like, just because you don't agree with what the manager does or so on, doesn't mean you're actually Ole out. You know, if, as a football fan, you look at things, you take into context, then you make your own opinion. The very key word there, opinion. You know? Yeah. And for me, looking at what Ole's done in 2 years, guys, I'm like, okay, cool. But we still haven't done anything. That's my point. And it's not Ole in, Ole out, or being negative. No, I'm saying to you, well, we still don't want anything.
Oh my God, that comment there.
To Usman's comment on sitting on the fence, I love this now because I've got my answer for it. It would be true if I was sitting on the Ole fence, but I'm not even on that fence, bruv. I'm on the next garden over, fighting against the pagans, bruv. So I'm nowhere near the Ole fence, my brother. I'm not even on it, bruv. I'm nowhere close to it. I'm over there on the other side of the fence, being like, these idiots didn't get out of my club. Bun them, man. I don't care if it's Ole, Nagelsmann, if it was my freaking dad who was in charge of Manchester United. If they're all doing crap, if they're all doing great, my eyes are on the targets, bruv. I'm like a sniper. Keeping my distance, getting ready to snipe them down, bruv, because these pagans did they get got.
But KJ, all jokes aside, do you not think this is quite worrying when, and Sims, this is to you actually, do you not think it's quite worrying when you say you don't agree with what Ole said there, and if you go public on social media, then you're called negative, you're called deluded, you don't know football, because you don't agree with what someone said, what Ole said. You know, a few people came at me at the weekend saying that you're quite negative about Man United. I'm like, well, you obviously don't follow me because I was the one who's leading the 21 and 21 shout. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But why is that? Why is that?
People, when you get attached to a narrative, when you get attached to an opinion, or when you love something so much, you can't bear but hear the other side. And the majority of people, when you discuss things, is they don't listen to actually listen to what you're saying, or it literally goes through one ear, comes out the other, because the majority of people have their mindset so fixed, they're never willing to change their opinion on anything. So as soon as somebody goes against what they say, that person is an idiot or doesn't know what they're talking about. And that's why the majority of people follow people that when they agree with their opinion.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. And because you don't follow the other side, because
and it's both sides as well.
Yeah.
You'll talk about those crazy, insane Ollie inners who are backwards. But on the same side, if you agree with Ollie says, hell knows that you man are getting the Ollie them backwards Ollie outers coming through back saying the same thing. You're deluded. How can you agree with him? Is that, the third? So this is the problem with our fan base right now. It's so toxic, so divided, so split. You can't. It's very hard to find three sensible of a gentleman like yourself to have a reasonable conversation about the pluses and negatives about our football club. It's very mad right now.
But that's it as well. Is because we're 3-4 individuals that are willing to listen, and that I may not agree with something that one of you guys will say, but if you say it in a certain way, which I know you will, because you would have a reason into why you're saying something. So I can say, you know what, I hear what you're saying. I say that a lot. I hear you because I hear what you're saying. I don't have to agree, but I hear what you're saying because you put it across in a way. You know, I was on a channel the other day, All for United, and I gave my view on Ollie. And as what the guy said, he said, you know what? You articulated your point so well. I don't agree, but I hear what you're saying. And I'm like, that's all. You don't have to agree. But then there was people in the comments that are jumping on me, basically going on like I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's exactly it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, isn't it? You just get called, obviously, deluded. You don't know football. Like if you say these so-called buzzwords like Ollie doesn't have a certain style of play, like you get lambasted because they'll pull out some random style of play that we do have, which is absolutely shit. Maybe we should say the style of play isn't to the standards of the club. I think and then people haven't really got a response to that. But in terms of what KJ was saying, it's too toxic. Like that's kind of the reason I took a break off Twitter. It's like you say one thing, you get attacked. You say another thing, next man attacks you. So it's like you can't really win in it. So at the end of the day, it's just a football opinion, isn't it?
This comment here, Usman, he said he's working with a shit midfield that's our biggest problem right now. We can't control games at the moment. What would your comment?
You know what? A shout out to Jerry if you're still watching this, because I absolutely blasted Jerry for the exact same comment. The reason being, right, who picks Fred and Scott McTominay over Van de Beek for 90% of the season? Who picked him? You got a Ajax education midfielder, right, whose ball retention IQ is like one of the highest at the club alongside Paul Pogba, and he's hardly had a look in. Don't get me wrong, he's not hit the ground running when he has played. He's not set, it's not set the world alight, as people would say. But if you utilize him smartly, and let's just say you played Fred alongside him, Fred does the dog work, and then he plays a 5-yard pass to obviously Van de Beek. He keeps the game ticking, which is what he's good at. And then we would have a team that controls the game. How can you have options of Pogba, Van de Beek, and Bruno, and say we've got a shit midfield? Arsenal have got Ajax, Partey, and next man. Brighton have got, I don't even know how, I only know Basuma from Brighton as midfield, and they control the ball better than us. Look at Southampton, they control better. You can go through all Leeds. They've got Phillips and some random Donnies from Championship, and they control the game better than us. It's the way we set up. And the issue is people will say stuff like, there's certain patterns of play, but there's certain things that you do on the coaching field, like i.e. movement off the ball, to always give an option to the man on the ball. How often, right? If you actually look at this, is the thing about Paul Pogba, right? If you look at Paul Pogba's game posed for Ollie under Jose, right? What was everyone criticizing Pogba for? Holding on to the ball for too long. The reason being is because Pogba's in his brain, I want to pass the ball forward at every given opportunity. And half the time it used to get nicked off him because there was no one running off the ball apart from Jay Lings. A lot of the time Pogba got caught. What is happening right now in our team? McTominay, again, I'm not their biggest fan. However, in their defense, McTominay and Fred hold on to the ball for ages, as do the centre-backs, because half the time they haven't got an option. If you look at Pep Guardiola's teams, right, and again, I don't want to compare it to the best and the best, But how many times, if you stop a game and they're playing, how many people have they got to pass it to when they're on the ball? They've got at least 3 options at every given moment, and we don't have that. Our options are like,
which is fair, which is Usman, which is a completely fair point. But let's say all 4 of us and my next door neighbor, I'll call him Steve. You know what? Actually, no, Bun Steve, Kalechi, yeah.
Yes, Kalechi.
We all go now to pay Power League, yeah. We don't have a manager. We don't have any coaching. We all go pay Power League,
sense, brother.
Do we know how to pass a move in football?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So my point is this: yes, coaching enhances things, improves things, makes things better. But when you see, and I'm not defending Ollie's coaching because he's questionable.
Oh no, I've got an answer for you anyway. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, everyone's got an answer.
but when the players themselves can't do basic things like pass and move, even if it's not in the pattern of the manager, even if you do it in the way that you naturally know how to do it, when they can't do that, there is a serious issue with personnel. How many times have we seen Fred with the ball? Acres of space, got options, mess up the pass. McTominay, forward pass, mess up the pass. Dan James running down the wing, easy through ball, mess up the pass.
All of them do. There's no excuses for it. I agree with that comment. But what I will say from a coaching perspective, look, this is just my personal experience as being a coach for 5 years. Obviously, got to give a bit of, gotta throw that out there so people know it. But if you listen to Pep Guardiola talk about football, right, and he did an interview with Rio Ferdinand, and he was talking about angles, and it's all about players creating angles for the person on the ball to give them the pass. How many times do our players do that? And also another thing, you mentioned McTominay and Fred there. I'll give you a couple of examples here. Bayern Munich play 4-2-3-1. So let's just bear that in mind. The formation is not the issue. Bayern Munich play 4-2-3-1. The difference between of course, the quality before people kill me and the caliber of player, I understand that. But the most important thing about Bayern Munich, right, and he doesn't probably get Goretzka is the key component, and the reason being is he makes that third man run, that underlapping run, that run from deep, the runs that Van der Beek is known for, the runs that Havertz known for. Who else is that? Scott McTominay, right? He's had and I'll give you 3 games examples, and you lot can tell me what going in it. Leeds United. When everyone saw that lineup, and I'm gonna put my hands up here because my tweets are there, but I was absolutely fuming when I saw that lineup with Scott McTominay alongside Fred. I was pissed. I tweeted it out, and 4 minutes later, he scored twice. Obviously, it blew up in my face, and it's standard. But the difference in that game was Scott McTominay had the license to join the attack. The issue with our system is the fact that he doesn't have a license to join the attack in 90% of the games. When he has the license, he looks like half a decent player. He got substituted on, I can't remember who was against. And then he was a further forward, and he found the ball at the edge of the box within 30 seconds again.
Let's start.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so he got subbed on that game. He almost scores straight away. And that's because he's got the license. Paul Pogba against RB Leipzig, the game we lost. So prior to him coming on, we were playing this cautious football. Everyone sat in their position in a 4-2-3-1. It's very rigid. The 2 players have to stay in front of the back 4. We're 2-0 down. Ollie thinks, allow it. We can't. We're 3-0 down even. Ollie thinks, allow it. We're going to have to throw a caution to me. What happens? Pogba goes, gets a goal, gets an assist. All the games where Pogba's had the license to join the attack, he looks like a completely different player when he's got that license to play as a number 8. He's playing as a 6. But when he gets the license to play as an 8, it changes the dynamic of the formation. This is the thing that pisses me off about our fans. You do understand 4-2-3-1 on paper doesn't mean you stay as a 4-2-3-1 the whole game. Yeah. It's meant to be fluid.
Yeah, Usman. And do you know what, Usman? Do you know what, Usman? I agree with you because do you know what? Yeah, I think this is not a dig at the younger generation, but I think FIFA has manipulated. It's manipulated. It's literally manipulated.
FIFA and FM, bro. FIFA and FM.
If you've played in a 4-2-3-1, like Usman's coach, I've played football. When you play in a 4-2-3-1,
Bobz, get that, bro.
Actually full time, but
full-time pro Scottish man.
But like the thing is, when you play a 4-2-3-1, right? There's a reason why the 2 are there. One, so one person can be able to create, and they can do it from deep, okay, and be a ball carrier. And then the other person is the one that can hold their own, be tenacious, get the ball back, tackle, and so on. So really, the creativity, we don't have to look to the number 10. And also, you're hoping that the people that are out wide are wingers, okay? Wingers that create. So when Usman's talking about rigid, we have players that are very idle. If you freeze a picture of Man United, it looks like they're waiting at a bus stop. Literally waiting on a bus. And this is not criticism or anything, because people say the management coaching stuff, but there was a team, Barcelona played 4-3-3, right? And they had Iniesta, who's like 5'7", Xavi, who's like 5'7". Okay, they never stayed in one position.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's true. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm saying to people, okay, you could say it's a big contrast, but formations are formations. Leicester played 4-4-2 and won the league. Danny Drinkwater was doing up number 10s, 6s, 8s, blah, blah, blah. My point is that, like, to echo what Usman is saying and KJ is saying, like, we can look at formations, but the players also need to take some ownership here. We saw, like, Scott McDoss, as people say. I'm calling him McMuffin now. But, like, he just showed intention. He's like, I'm going to get forward. We need runner. We need someone to break the line set.
Yeah, but that comes from the coach, because you got to, because not in terms of, like,
go on, KJ.
Like, I hear KJ. I know what you're gonna say, but in terms of what you said earlier, that it's common sense. We've all played football, pass and move. But you need to understand that's clear instructions from the manager that you're not allowed to move a certain way. You're not allowed to join the attack. When he's
that's why
yes,
that is part of the issue. Yes, but we got to look at the overall picture here. Why do we not have one DM and one box-to-box midfielder who's allowed to go forward in this squad right now? Is because our back line is vulnerable to pace and to making mistakes. Why is our back? Wait. Why is our? Let me go through the story, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Why is that so? We've got Aaron Bissaka with Luke Shaw, fine. You've got Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Now the question is, why? Like you say, Usman, why didn't you just play Bailly? That is a good solution. If man wasn't made out of biscuits and gets injured every 5 seconds, bro. You know what I'm saying? So there is a question mark over Bailly's fitness. So therefore, you have to then start playing Lindelof a bit more than you want to. So when those two are together, you're like, crap, these two brothers are basically the Choco brothers at times, isn't it? So we need to protect them. Have two DMs sit in front of them to help them. The issue is, again, look at the two DMs. He goes for McTominay and Fred. Those two in themselves aren't good enough to hold the midfield together. So that creates a further issue going forward, because now you can't get the ball to our midfielders and to our attackers who can do something. And for me, my main thing is, the big issue is, yes, Ollie's coaching ability is very questionable. But then the balance of the squad that he's got does not help the cause. And then who is in charge of the balance of the squad? I don't have to say anything furthermore, because you already know what I'm going to say. But look at these, look at those factors. Usman, I'm not saying Ollie is blameless. Before you speak, I'm not saying that. Before anyone says I am not saying Ollie is blameless. I'm just saying these are factors of the reasons why things go wrong at our club.
Absolutely.
Okay, can I ask you a question then? Can I ask you a question, right? Okay. And I find Usman, I find what you said is very interesting. And KJ, I also hear your return to that. Okay. Now, guys, you're getting beat 2-0. Okay. Now, here's an example. Okay. Usman, KJ, you played centre mid. Do you know what, mate? The next 10 minutes, just sit deep. Okay? Just sit deep. Okay? KJ, do you know what, mate? You can cheat. You can cheat. When I say you can cheat, go forward. The guy's not following you. It's called communication. It's called managing a football match. You know, instruction saying, do you know what? Whoever's wide left, Rashford, do you know what, mate? Don't track back. Don't track back because it's fine. I've got him. It's called communication. Now we're talking about systems and stuff. But see each game, yeah, like we've all played football, whatever. Yeah, go forward, don't worry. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's communication, guys. And like for me, yeah, I just don't think we have that to be run as a team. I know we can say manager's instruction, tactics, so, but do you know what? Yeah, if you're playing a game and you're got the right back on toast, it doesn't really matter what the manager's telling you because you know you're playing up against a dominant.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, but in midfield, where obviously everyone's concentrating on just now, not just us, I mean, as in the fan base. We need to look at like how are they controlling, how are they communicating? Because there's sometimes I think to myself, Fred, surely you should say, Scott, listen, mate, you don't need to be here. Push up, go press, go get the ball. We don't do that. And
but you know what, Bob? Let me jump in just quickly. Do we know if they've got the license? Now, we may say that it should be automatic that these professional footballers have the license to make changes in game themselves. But do we know if this crop of players have the balls and the license to say, you know what, forget what the manager's saying. We're playing Sheffield United at home. We both don't need to be sitting in here. I'm going to play further up the field. Fred, you hold that.
Those funny. Usman says they haven't. So on one side, I hear Ollie is this soft youth, this yes man. He doesn't control nobody. He's got no backbone. You're not saying you. I'm not saying you. But saying like people in general say that. But in the same breath, they would say, but he tells them not to do anything, and if they don't, they're scared. They don't know what to. I'm just like, what is it then? Is he soft or is he hard, bro? Like, what is he, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Listen, forget Adam. I love Ollie as a player. He's a legend to me, so I'm not gonna hate on him like that. But in terms of his character, innit? But obviously his managerial, I hate on him. But listen, just to come back to you said in terms of they have to protect the defenders, right? Because there's a lack of pace, which is a very valid point. However, I'll throw a question out to you guys. Knowing football, right? If you control a game, do you actually have to worry what's coming the other way? So let's just say we're playing against, I don't know, Brighton, Sheffield United, West Brom. I'm not saying, Cage, what you said about the two-man sitting against the teams that causes threat, I haven't got a problem with that. That's fine. I understand it because we need to have protection against the better teams in the league. I get that because we haven't got a specialized DM. So I accept that. But against the Sheffield Uniteds, the West Broms, the Brightons, I don't know. Well, I suppose Leeds is an anomaly because they can't defend civilized. But the lesser teams, so to speak, in the league that shouldn't really dominate the game against the Southampton, etc. They're the games that I get frustrated with this negative rigid formation because those games we should be controlling the owners. We should be controlling the game. We shouldn't have to worry about what they possess going forward.
Yeah, but if you look at those games, West Brom 1-1. How did we concede a goal from with Lindelof being weak? But Sheffield United, how do we concede those goals? One was a corner and a set piece again. So set pieces, they got nothing to do with the formation we play.
No, absolutely,
we suck at that. But the second goal was what? Some poor defensive.
It was a mistake. It was that McBurney deflection.
Yeah. Poor defensive display. So,
but I'm happy you beat them 2 games, and I'll tell you why. Yeah. Because what was the concept between the 2 games? And I'll tell you the answer. We created absolutely 4 goal chances in both them games. Against Sheffield United, we had a Martial goal disallowed. I don't remember our goal. Against West Brom, it was a random goal that we scored. Apart from them 2 moments in the game, and this is the point, and I'm sure all of you would agree with me, we shouldn't be in a situation that, they get a set piece, they score, and we've drawn. We should be 3-4-0 to the goal, and I'm game. I understand it's not going to happen every game. I'm not deluded.
No, I'm not saying that.
But what I'm saying is, we should be putting this team to the sword, and you've got to put in a system that the pressure is relentless and you squeeze them. You're meant to squeeze with the centre backs. These mans have got the DMs. If you don't squeeze the DMs.
Yeah, but the thing is, we tried that clearly. We clearly tried to do that because but this is what I'm saying. We clearly tried to do that, but we're not good enough to because of the players that we've got. You're saying we should control. You say we should control games against the lower teams. Guess what? We actually do. But we do it so poorly. That's why they get. That's why they get chances.
Yeah, but what Bob said earlier about wingers holding the line on the way to create width. Interchanging. That is so integral to those games. We don't do that.
But then, do you know what, guys? I hear what you're both saying, right? I hear what you're both saying regarding those 2 clubs, right? And what is the coaching staff's job before you play against a club. You have a dossier of how they play.
Research.
Okay, yeah, you research. You have a dossier of how they play, what they do, their strengths and their weaknesses. Then you pick your team accordingly, right? So, okay, so what I'm going to say here is that I blame the manager, coaching staff, and the players because
he does.
First of all, the manager picks the team, okay? And second of all, the players need to perform, okay? And you need to be competent, at least competent. We all know when you're young, you're told to pass 5 yards, stop it, then 10 yards, blah, whatever, right? Okay, these guys are getting millions. My point is this. Those two teams you played against, there's no reason to play a 4-2-3-1. This is my point. So when you're playing against the weaker teams or the smaller clubs, whatever, the low blocks, whatever, why are we so defensive?
Exactly. 4-3-3, please. Simple.
You don't listen. Do you know what? You don't even have to say 4-3-3. You can even. I'm just thinking, like, but that's what we're talking about. Instruction. Usman said that's the manager's instruction because to the players, they're not going to care. Well, I done what you told me to do. So how can you be angry at me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Then there's the other part where you're thinking, we need to win this game here. What am I going to do to try and contribute to win this game? Am I going to take a risk? Well, actually, you know what? Actually, the gaffer says I can't cross the halfway line. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah,
so we need to take. So what I'm saying to you, I blame them both because, okay, the accountability and the decisions that are the teams that are picked and the decisions are made against these certain teams, I have to question all of them. At the end of the day, the two games you guys mentioned, why are we playing 2 DMs against Sheffield United? Why are we playing 2 DMs against West Brom? Sorry, Sims. Sorry, man.
No.
Wait.
I totally agree. I totally agree with everything that you guys are saying. So if we was to live in a world now where it looks like, look, Ollie's here to stay for a little bit longer, and we all agree that it's not all on Ollie. Yeah, we all agree on that.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So now we're in a world where Ollie's gone to Solskjaer is going to be the manager now for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Where do we need to see improvements on the pitch, gentlemen? Because that now needs to be our focus because it looks like Ollie is staying. So where do we need to see improvements on the pitch? What could be our summer targets? And again, we're not going to get onto the board because we know the board are likely to fail to deliver. But if us if we were in charge, where do we see that we need improvements and where would we try to improve in the summer, KJ?
First of all, if I was in charge and I was ahead of Manchester United, I would go see Woodward every morning, say, how you doing, Ed? Slap him around the face and walk out. Yes, I'll definitely do that every single day until he quits. I don't care. But on the football pitch, we definitely see. I would prefer 4-3-3. I would prefer. I would go out and get a DM that's specialized in not just being a defensive midfielder, but specializing in being a single pivot. He's used to that, knows the covering of the areas. I feel like we need to see more set pieces have to improve. They have to improve. Remember United, I shouldn't be scared about any team having a set piece against us. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to defend them. Yeah, you're going to concede some, that's normal. But not nearly every time you concede this set piece. That is it's shameful. It's actually embarrassing how bad we are at set pieces. And in terms of like patterns of play and stuff, I feel like I personally would just like to see the striker get involved a little bit more. I want to see us getting behind a lot better as well. How many one-on-ones do we really have in a game? It's one of those ones where it's like Man City play against low blocks, yes, but they will still find a way to create those one-on-one opportunities. So yeah, that'll be my main thing. I want to see my striker get involved. I want to see him on the ball more, running at goal more one-on-ones, better set piece defending, and what was the other one? I said one more thing. A 4-3-3 base. That's what I would like to see.
Usman?
Yeah, no, I echo the CDM. I think every Manchester United fan knows that we need a CDM. There was an interview that Declan Rice did not so long ago. I think it was on Sky Sports, and they were asking him about his relationship with Souček, and he literally said, I speak to Souček all the time. I said to him, as Bob said earlier, look, you don't worry about defending. I got you. You go join the attack. I'll cover you. Rice says that to him, as Bob's obviously said, in terms of communication, which the players have to do, of course. They have to take onus for that. But we need someone like a Michael Carrick, basically. We need Michael Carrick in that midfield who can, intercept, read the game, allow Pogba the license. For me personally, the biggest thing is when Ollie first came in, right? I was a massive Ollie fan when he first came in. But the biggest thing is, and unless you live under a rock, it's quite evident that every time Paul Labile Pogba joins the attack, we look like a different animal in terms of attacking outlet. The teams can't do it. Look at his cameo against AC Milan. I know he's in the wrong position, but he's in the final third. They could not deal with the guy at all. Like his quality on the ball, his ability to hold the play, bring players in. So what I want, of course, is a CDM. My personal preference is Ndidi, has been for 2 years. I just love the guy. So I would go Ndidi because I feel like I'd be confident with leaving him on his own, allowing Pogba to play further up the pitch. When when Ollie first came in, Pogba was playing further up the pitch, and his goal contribution was unbelievable. Like assists, goals, and he's dangerous there. Not only as a goal threat, but at the edge of the box, he's got that creativity, as we know, to unlock any defense. So we need to get him further up the pitch if you want to have any chance of winning the league. So,
but that's just common sense, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's not rocket science. It's complete common sense.
Isn't it?
It's complete common sense. I thought Fred would be that guy, but Ollie's not tried it. But it is what it is. In terms of centre back, look, we need someone with pace. I completely agree with what Gage has said to an extent in terms of Maguire and Lindelof not complementing each other. We've seen with Bailly on numerous occasions this season, last season. His recovery pace is so integral for any centre-back partnership that's trying to squeeze the defence. My only argument to that is Barcelona used to play with Mascherano and Piqué. Any of them quick? No, they're not. So it's an excuse for me at the same time that Man United fans are using that. I just think it comes down to defender. Piqué was never quick.
Team, isn't it?
Piqué wasn't quick. Mascherano wasn't quick. But guess what? They had IQ. Snuffing out the danger before it happened, so they weren't getting in positions where they get violent for pace. So you got to look at the players as well. Are they good enough to actually play for Man United, regardless of the pace they possess? So that's something we need to improve.
One thing I'll say to that though, Usman, is Barcelona played the way that the Man City, isn't it? The Man City now is the pressing from the front, so everybody's forming and they condense the space. So that's why teams, irrespective of the slow centre backs at the back, they would find it. Why
does everyone want to play like that? I'm sorry, Usman. Essentially what you said there about the pressing, like it's funny, isn't it? Like Pep's came to England and they've changed the rules for him. Do you know what I mean? You can pass from your box. Why does everyone want to play like that? This is what I don't understand.
Because when someone like Jose tries to do his style, they call him a dinosaur, innit? So like,
but see, I don't want to segue. Sorry, just I'll talk to you about this off air.
all right. No, right. You know what? You take it there, man. This is what this show is about.
I want to answer the question about the players and stuff, about who we need, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you know what I'd love to do, right? This might sound a bit long-winded, but I honestly think Ollie likes 4-2-3-1, right? So I think to myself, if that's what you want to play, get the players that can play that position. Now, when you play a 4-2-3-1, okay, you need your fullbacks to be competent on the ball, okay? To be creative from the back, right? So what I'd start looking at players who like to take the ball in pressured areas, who are good at beating the press. Let's look at characters who can, when I say pass forward, I don't mean like literally pass, I mean break the lines with their passes. Like if you're going to keep possession, cool. But if we're going to go attack, let's be creative. And I think, people say Ndidi, look, he's my countryman. So I love Ndidi, right? But what I'm thinking is two things. Leicester, Sheg does 85 million for Harry Maguire. Okay. So what do you lot think they're going to give us Ndidi? Okay. Now, we are very fortunate that another club, like KJ said before, who are horribly run, like our club, West Ham, dangle this carrot called Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
Okay. Sell it. England internationalist, played in the World Cup. He's a brand, social media. West Ham, that's what you need to raise the profile of your club in London. Sell it, drop 50 M's, get Rice. People say, we don't need Rice. Look what you just said, Usman.
Rice is perfect.
Rice says to Souček, don't worry about defending. And do you know why I brought that up, right? It's because I played holding role in a 4-2-3-1, right? And I had a genius beside me. And I was just like, there's no reason for you to be here defending. Go do your damage where it's effective or further up, okay? Then I'll worry about that. And Usman, I love the fact that you said that because we need players that can just do their job individually. For example, N'Golo Kante made a great career of it in 2 years. He won leagues back-to-back and he won the World Cup, doing the most simplest thing, tackling, giving the ball to the most technical players. He made a career of it, right? And then that's who we look at. Now, Declan Rice is bullying people in the Premier League. He's running with the ball, he's carrying it, but he's also doing his job defensively as well. So we need to look at that. As a winger, people are going to say, Ahmad, look, I'm going to be realistic with you. You go and get Sancho.
Absolutely.
If I'm honest with you.
100%.
You go and get Sancho. Look, you cracked the joke last season. Just go do the job now. FFP are not there, so shut up and just pay whatever. You're probably gonna get your money back in sponsors, whatever, with Sancho anyway. And hear me out, guys. I think another obvious one. We need a striker.
Don't say Ireland, Bob.
I'm not gonna say who we need. I'm saying we need a striker, a number 9. Okay, a bad boy striker, and then we also need another creative player, a creative player that doesn't mind playing in a 6. Okay, that's all I would say. I'm not going to say to you we need this player, that player. I'm just saying we need certain characters because I think Ollie is going to persevere with the 4-2-3-1. So that's what you're going to do, which I think he is. Go get the proper players that can actually dominate in these positions.
Yes, and Bobz, I agree with you. But one of my gripes is when they say, "Oh, managers need to go and get X player, Y player." It's modern day football. It's not their freaking job. You know what I mean? And that's our issue right now. We could have a list of 5 players that we need. Ollie's got that list. Look who's got to go hand that list to.
But this is the thing.
See, you're laughing because you know it's true. Like you can you can say to Woodward, get me 5 players that I need. He'll come back with 3 and 2 players. 3 other players that you said you don't even need, and then also some Skittles because look, we got a new brand deal. Give us Skittles.
And do you know why I said the British players?
Man.
Do you know why I said the British players? Yeah, I saw the comment. British Brexit FC Lorders. No, the reason I'm saying about the British players is this. Yeah, Ed Woodward sees the Premier League week in, week out. He sees the newspapers. He sees who they're talking about. Yeah, because he hired Neil Ashton, innit? So Neil Ashton is telling them this is who. So, but in the English league right now, we don't need experiments. We don't need potential.
But we need someone that's got.
We need players.
In the Prem. Yeah, absolutely.
We need proven Premiership experience, and right now, Declan Rice is badding up the Premier League right now.
Yeah,
okay,
and it doesn't have to be just Brexit, like you people say. Just Premier League proven will do. What was the foundation Fergie built on?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that was exactly what
all the best talent from the Premier League teams, and then you add Ronaldo. Then you add a player from abroad. You know what I'm saying?
But KZ, this is what I said earlier on the show. These people are acting like Fergie was never at the club. Like Fergie didn't go to Tottenham. Didn't go to other clubs in the Premier League. Say, thank you very much, mate. Do you know what I mean? That's
the issue is besides the Wallads and Pagans. The issue is also buying of Premier League clubs is a lot harder because now they don't need to sell. The Premier League money is that much. They're like, yo, fam, I don't need to sell you Basuma. I don't need to sell you Rice. 50 M's. You know what I mean? So it's a difficult one. It's like, we're just. Listen, these are incompetent. The people that run our club is PR companies are not. You're not supposed to know that a company uses a PR company. We know that Woodward hired Neil Ashton. How does that make sense? How are you that bad at your job that we know you buy someone to cover up that you're bad at your job?
But I wanna focus on this comment here very quickly. Fergie could have convinced anyone to play for him. He had the respect. Now, this is something that I'm always thinking is, yes, we know the board are incompetent, but also Do players want to come and play for us? Now we know Harry Maguire is going to want to come. That is an easy deal to do. Wan-Bissaka, easy deal to do. The deals like Haaland, a lot harder. Now we know
Why
Sancho
would
is
he
a
come
big,
to us?
but you think Haaland will come?
No, why would he
No,
come to us?
that's what I'm saying. So for us to go out and get the top quality players in Europe now, gentlemen, it's not that easy. I don't think it's not even a case of just the board. Is do these players want to come and play for Ollie?
Yes,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Do you know what? Sorry, Zubid. I beg you, let me go first on that. I hear what you're saying about Fergie didn't sign every single player he was after. We need to remember that. Ronaldinho did not come to this club. Paul Gascoigne didn't come to this club. We need to remember there's a list of players like Wenger. Ours is not as long as Wenger's. That some players didn't come to this club. Okay, but I hear it's a massive statement about Fergie. Fergie will speak to players. The difference is, okay, Fergie ran the whole club. Nothing came in, nothing came out without him saying to it. Remember, we forget Fergie and David Gill used to go to watch these players. Fergie would let the coaching staff coach. Fergie would personally go and scout these players. It's not happening anymore. They don't want a manager. They want a coach, a HC, head coach. So what that statement, that comment, sorry, yeah, there's a lot of truth in it. But you need to remember now, those days, Man United was probably the club to sign for when you came to England. If you came to England, it wasn't even Manchester United, it was Manchester, right? Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, but now what has happened with the Premiership money? Okay, kids coming through the academy are already young millionaires. They don't care, okay, about football experience. Some you can say to me, Foden and Sancho. Okay, I get that, but I'm saying to Man United, I hate to say it, are not that big of an attraction anymore. That's it. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Listen, you man, right? Hear me out now. Adebayo said it best. If you are a cleaner that earns £10 and another cleaner company offers you £30 to do the same job you're doing here, do you go? Yes or no?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and football is like that. They're employees.
It's a business. It's a business, guy.
But then you gotta. I think there's four major things that go into a player's decision. So you got the squad that you're gonna be playing with. So your new teammates. You've got the manager you'll be playing under. You've got the club's stature, the structure, just the club itself.
Yeah.
And then you've got legacy.
Yeah.
When you haven't got all four of those things, you then start to think. Man United, what do we have? The playing squad. Yes, we got Pogba, Bruno, Rashford. But from what you see on the pitch, it's very inconsistent. So you question the squad. The manager, his name's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He seems like a nice guy. Everyone seems to get along with him. But at the same time, is the tactics there? Is the coaching there? So that's a question mark. So that's another one. The club itself, Manchester United, massive club, big brand. My name will be everywhere. But then we've got idiots running there. We've got the stories of how the board and the chairman and the CEO treat people not good. They don't understand football. When they try and talk to players, they bring in lawyers and accountants to tell about selling figures and TikTok. Okay, cool. And then your legacy. Man United, if biggest club in England, win anything with them, legend. Be one of the players to bring them back from the depths, absolute legend. Folklore, football history.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, the other side of the coin, you've got, if this doesn't work, I'll be ridiculed. I'll get the media after me. I'll get the fans after me. I'll be vowed England. And so, another one that's questionable, legacy, questionable. Look how many things, we don't have anything set on certain that a player can look at and be like, yes, I can go for that reason. And I think that's Man United's main issue. We've got a combination of crap. And if only players who are that confident in themselves will go to Manchester United.
So, and the last thing on that, and also, sorry, Usman, it's just one sentence. We also need to remember on location. Okay. When I say location, Usman, I'll be quick because I know you want to come in. some of the players that went to Arsenal and Chelsea, right? People will say, "Oh, why have they gone there?"
London,
Look at the
obviously.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
Location, London,
Yeah.
okay, family, the weather, and so on. Nobody's trying to kick it up at North, bro. You know what I mean? In Manchester,
Bro,
where it's
these are
raining and
biased,
stuff.
man. Don't be hating on my
No.
people.
But I'm just saying there's other
I'm
factors. But
messing
go
up,
on, Usman, go on.
Yeah, no, I was gonna add. Obviously, you guys made a lot of good points. Obviously, you know, KJ with the four factors, so to speak. I kind of want to say in terms of personnel, like we don't necessarily need the biggest player. I know Sancho is a big player. Don't get me wrong, but in terms of attracting the big, we just gotta be smart. This is the issue that we haven't been smart in the window a lot of the times. Like, for example, signing Van der Beek for 35 million. We should have signed Partey. He would have been a better fit for what we currently needed for extra 15 million, potentially. Like, even, is it Gabriel, how you pronounce him, the centre back that went to Arsenal. He would have been a decent fit for us. Left side of centre back, got a bit of pace, good in the air. Potentially could have done a better job than Lindelof this season. Like, that's two players there that if we were smart, but it's not always about the glitz and the glams or the big signings. Like, I'm not saying Basuma is the answer, but what I'm saying is, like, we got to get players like Basuma that come in and do their job and fit what we need rather than going for big names because, it's going to sell shirts as Ed Woodward wants. I don't care about shirt sales. Plug the holes that we need to plug and build a squad. That's what Fergie used to do. He signed these guys that just plugged holes, man. This is the issue with the sort of, and it comes back to the Wallace, as Cage would say, the transfer sort of, I don't use the strategy, that's the word. The transfer strategy is the major issue. Us being linked to Haaland is just don't want another Sancho saga. Just get the players that we need. We need a DM. Someone put it in the chat before we need a striker. Can we sign a CDM? If we go to the next season without signing a CDM in the first 3 weeks of the transfer window, I'm gonna lose my shit because we've needed a CDM since Carrick's left.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, do you know what I mean? We haven't replaced Carrick. So, please, just get the CDM first. And then the way I see it, if we get the heart, obviously we're not going to get Haaland, but hypothetically speaking, if we get a striker, then it's a bonus. But please plug the holes we need. CDM first, right wing. Everyone else, I'll accept you. We might get away with it. But we cannot get away with them two positions. So, whatever it may be, big name or not big name, get a specialist. Simple as.
You know, when you said about the players doing a job, right? Our fan base forget John O'Shea, not Meg.
Exactly, bro.
John O'Shea done the chip at Highbury. We forget Phil Neville, Nicky Butt even done as a job. We had certain players that came in. Darren Fletcher was one of those players. Came in and done a job because they were good enough, but they know their purpose. Get those players that are going to come and do a job. I agree with that. 100%.
In certain positions, yes. In certain positions, get players who come and do a job.
Yeah.
In right wing DM, no job seekers. This ain't job seekers. You know what I'm saying? This is, can you do it? Yes or no? Yes. High level? Yes. Come to the club. But this is the thing that we got. So we now got this new structure. Murtaugh, Fletcher, Dealworth, Tendergood, director.
Please.
Who has got any real tangible faith and evidence to give me? Because right now all I've got is, Lord, please make it work, because if we don't, we are so screwed. Man. Would have been there in the thing. Your God, please, if you don't make this work, I don't know what I'll do with myself. You know what I'm saying? That is all I've got.
I'll answer that, KJ. I'll answer that. Obviously, we haven't got a lot, especially on Fletcher's perspective. However, the major thing is the shift in the sort of personnel in terms of the mentality. The issue with Woodward is he's a businessman. These are football men. That's the major shift. Obviously, we don't know in terms of the caliber of job. You know, we'll have to give them time to establish whether they're good enough or not. But it's about the fact that in their head, they're going to try and do what's best for the club because they're football people. Look at Van der Sar, Ajax. He went in there. You know, he didn't really have any experience prior to his role. He's been an absolute revelation. And I think that's what it's about. I think getting people in that are football people first and foremost is so integral, man. Because that Woodward guy, Bro, that guy would. That guy. But I don't think people. We should have signed him in flipping summer, not January. Bruno Fernandes. Man said we don't want to pay an extra 3 million, but we almost lost out on Bruno Fernandes because of Woodward not saving out for 3 million. Just bear that in mind.
Listen. This
ridiculous.
guy, that guy, yeah, bro.
That's
I wouldn't trust him to watch paint dry. You know what you have to do. Do you know what you have to do? Do you know what you have to do to watch paint dry? Nothing. I can't trust my man with nothing, my brothers. And this is the issue. And now we've got two man them we know nothing about. And we're saying to them, go build us the first ever technical director and football director structure.
Can't be anywhere.
People always quote Ajax and Bayern and Dortmund and places like that. They've had their structure for years. Years. That's why a Van der Sar can just slip in with just in the degree because they all know what they're doing. He goes underneath someone and they'll be like, "Oh, X, Y, Z. This is how you do it." They give him the job description. Here is what you have to do. Go fulfill it. We're doing this for the first time in the football club's history, and we're entrusting it to two mandem who we have no idea about. So I'm not blaming. This is not me having to go at them. It's not their fault. They're going to go and try and do their best.
They're going in blind, aren't they? Basically,
they're going in blind. But the person leading them is freaking Woodward. He's the one trying to tell them how to do their jobs. It makes no sense. We let Luis Campos is going back to Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He spoke many times about how Man United need a DOF. Is that a job I'll be interested in? You know what? Yeah, if they came to me, I'll happily do it.
He's too elite, man. Now we don't think like that.
Yeah, now we've got these two guys who have got one of the hardest tasks in world football, which is to now start the new structure at Manchester United and be successful within 3 years. Because that's all the fans have got. Let's be honest now. They ain't got time to be waiting for 5, 6, 7 years for it to work. Yo, fam, we want it now, but 3 years is quick enough. It's already been 2 of Solskjaer. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking a bit peak, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It is, and you know that new structure. A lot of people aren't convinced by it anyway. As you've said, Campos was available, but a lot of people believe that you've got the yes men in, the people who are not gonna aggravate or challenge, and that's the people that they want to get in. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens going forward. I wanted to ask you guys, you know, if we're talking about players and the squad and everything like that, we've got an amazing player in Paul Pogba. Does he now look at this situation as a place where he wants to essentially give his prime years to and try and win trophies, or does he now just say, you know what, I'm leaving, and I don't blame him? What do you think there, Usman?
It's very simple for me. What I say to Harry Kane is what I say to Paul Pogba. You should be winning trophies, mate. Don't waste your life. Simple as that. Harry Kane is the same. It's the same scenario. All my United fans will be saying Harry Kane needs to leave. He needs to win trophies. Well, so does Pogba, mate. Man should not be in the Europa League. Man should not be in the Carling Cup losing. Man should not be scraping FA Cup semi-finals and losing. Like these players are, off the caliber of the top teams in Europe. Like they should be playing for Premier League, obviously Champions League, the top accolades for me personally. So of course I want Pogba to stay, but I'm not gonna lie. If he's got any ambition, he needs to leave. Like I know it sounds mad as a Man United fan. I love the guy. He's my favorite player without a doubt. But if he's got any ambition, unless he genuinely loves the club, that's the only thing that can keep him. Because it can't be ambition. Because I can't see us winning shit in the next couple of seasons, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes,
Bobz?
I think there's 2 questions here you need to ask yourself. Well, maybe more than 2 actually. First of all, we shagged him when he first came. We told him he was getting steak and calamari. Man got chips and cheese. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I think the real question is, who can afford Paul Pogba right now?
I don't think anyone can. I think that's the only thing keeping him.
So then the next question is, where am I going to play my football? Now, this is where I think Man United this summer is so important, because if we, dare I say, we sign Harry Kane, or okay, no, when I say Harry Kane, okay, let me rephrase that. If
Give us
we
a
make
Premier
a
League if Harry Kane
signing,
comes.
no, if we make a signing that shows intent to win the league, then Pogba might have to say, okay, you know, looking around Europe right now, everyone's not probably gonna, you know, everyone's gonna go crazy with money, so we think. But you know, people forget you can pay a transfer, but that doesn't include their wages. And Paul Pogba commands a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know. And then I'll say this to the last question: why haven't they came in from before? So I think I don't get me wrong. I want him to stay. Like, you know, he's my favorite player. I want him to stay. But the sad truth is that what Usman says: if you want to win trophies, and the club you're at now are not doing that, you owe us nothing.
Yeah,
literally. Look, football. There's no loyalty in football. Okay, because do you know what? The same way you came in is the same way they're gonna sell you. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. So you know what I mean? So go get yours, and when you get older, you can tell your grandkids you done this and you won that.
Absolutely.
How can you be a World Cup winner at our club and you can't even boast the league medal?
Or you can't even command a first team place certain time. You're sitting on the bench.
How long have you got for tonight, Sam?
Yeah. KJ, what's your thoughts on that?
If I was his mate, I wish I was his mate. I think in my mind I'm his friend. I'll tell him, look, this place is not good for you. Not just the football club in this terrible structure, but this place called England is not good for you. They don't like you. They attack you for anything, for breathing. They clearly you're not welcome. Why entertain? Why give them the entertainment of your skills and your talent? So I'll say that to him. So I'll say leave, but I would be like, you got to be very careful your next choice now, because around Europe, the options aren't amazing. You look at your second home in Juve. They're not in a good place. They've got a manager worse and less experienced than Oli.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They've got Pirlo, who you used to play for, but he was a manager for 10 days before he got that job. I'll never let people forget that. You look at Barcelona, them man got done up for fraudulence. You know what I'm saying? Some of their guys just got nicked. I wish our guys got nicked, by the way. I wish they got nicked. And now they're going through their new structure rebuild. Is Messi going to leave? Well. Is Messi going to stay? Real Madrid, they're going through their issues. Benzema has carried them on the back, but my man's old now. Like, he can't do it forever. Modric, Cruz can't do it forever.
Yeah.
There's only a few clubs around that.
The only one, really.
The best place, I would say, you go home. Go to Paris, my brother.
Yeah.
They will love you. He's the only. That's the only club I say, yo, bro. If you just go out and get Mino to do his thing and convince him to sign you, because nowhere else is the one. Bayern Munich ain't gonna buy you.
Yeah,
that's not their model.
Yeah,
everywhere else is looking a bit mad. So, and also the Madrid thing. That's a Zidane thing. It's not Perez. You know, with Florentino Perez, if he wants you, you're coming to Madrid.
Yeah.
You don't want Pogba.
Yeah.
Zidane wants Pogba. And guess
right.
what? Zidane will get the boot as quick as any man. You know what I'm saying? So if they signed him on Zidane's word and then Perez sacks him, you just get rid of Pogba too. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't care, fam. So he's got to be very careful his next move. I'm like, yo, if you're not going to stay here, which I don't recommend, you gotta get Mino to get you to PSG, bro.
Yeah, it's gotta be PSG for me as well.
It has to be. They're backed by a freaking country. You're telling me they can't afford Mbappe and Pogba's wages, fam? Yo, bro, the whole country. Listen, they will make a tax. They'll make a Paul Pogba tax just to get him in there, bro. In that country,
man.
Do you not think it's funny though? In this situation, Man United, staying at Man United actually doesn't seem a bad idea.
I know, it's actually
when you break it down, and that
actually not a bad option at the moment. Actually.
Yeah, and it's horrible for him that there isn't the big teams that he could potentially go for are not in great positions. But you know, we're gonna have to wrap up soon because I know you guys have got things that you need to do as well. But just as a final word, gents, is as I said, the title was "Where are we going? Where do we go from here?" Because as a Man United fan now, I say to myself, and I said to a couple of people the other day, that you know what, after that Leicester result, I realized that I just need to lower my expectations. And then some people say, "What? No, you know, we shouldn't be doing." And I'm just like, the reality of the situation is where we are now, with the board the way it is, with the signings that we make, because you see Chelsea's owners, they do what they need to do to try and win trophies. We are where we are, and I'm at a position now where I'm thinking I just need to lower our expectations. Where do you guys stand? If I was to start with you, Bobz, where do you stand with that statement that I've just made, and where do you think we go now for the next 3 to 5 years? Where do you think we're gonna go?
Realistically, I think we're in dismay. I think we are literally, it's a guessing game, literally. I think I'll probably have a better chance telling you the lottery numbers, to be honest. I think, do you know what, to answer your question, Sims, I think the only way is up. And when I say that, it's not to sound negative or anything, but the only way is up now, because right now it can't get any worse. You know,
You sure?
When I say it can't get any worse, okay. If Pogba leaves this summer, we're not shocked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So mentally, we're already prepared for the worst. So mentally, I'm already there. Okay, so when I say it can only get better, because like, you know, we can all be, come summer, we can all be surprised together. You know, so I think where we go from now, we just have to trust. In fact, no, we have to hope that the appointment in Myrtle and Fletcher can come good. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just have, for me, we just have to hope it comes good, because right now we've got nothing to look forward to, and he has to win the Europa League. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay. KJ.
Yo, please ask me the title question again.
It's KJ. Where are we going?
To the abyss, to the gulag, to wherever hidey hole you can think of. We go in there right now. Listen, people. The only way right now with these owners is down. There is no evidence to show that we're going to go up at all. And when you say lower expectations, you are correct. We have to, because the people who run our football club, their expectations and their ambition is top 4. That's what I want. That's what I care about. They will not go any higher. So stressing my head about getting the players we need to win the league, there is no point, because it ain't happening. Under these man, it ain't happening. We as a fan base, if we want to keep the high standards, we start with them first. People say Ollie's lower the standards. Dan James has lowered the standards. No, the people who run the football club lowered our standards over years, slowly but surely, and squeezed it out of us. So if you want to keep the high standards, we got to go challenge them. Start with them. I'm saying boycott the team, bruv. Everything. Don't go. Oh, listen. Don't go back to Old Trafford. Don't go back. Oh, wait, unsubscribe from MUTV. Don't buy Chevrolet cars. Yo, go buy Volkswagen or something. Go buy a different car. Yo, you got Team Viewer now. Don't even use that. Or use scammers. I know you use it. Don't use Team Viewer. Use something else. You know what I'm saying? The noodles, whatever noodles it is, bun them, fam. Go get pot noodles, something. I don't care what it is. If it's related to Manchester United, we need to stop. That is if we got high standards. If not, the only solution is we accept where we are, we take it and realize that we are a normal club with money. We're Everton, bro. You know what I mean? Everton got peas. Yo, Aston Villa, I live in Brum. Them man got peas, you know. Like, don't get it twisted. They got peas. We're just them. Do you see their fans complaining about second place? Do you see their fans complaining about signing Cavani? Signing? No, bro. They ain't gonna be doing that, because they realize what club they are. So maybe we just need to do that. Those are the two options. Yeah. Fight against the pagans, or accept reality that we are in the gulag and will be forever. I'm telling you, generational bondage with these brothers. We've already had one generation of them man then come and go, you know. Oh, Daddy Glazer, may he rest in peace, ain't here with us no more. Who did he give it to? His sons. Who do you think that man are going to give it to? Their children. And then who else they're going to give it to? Their children. And the rich people don't mess around with nepotism, bruv. They use it. The family business is a family business for a reason. So we are in, listen, we are in generational bondage with these pagans, fam. So we accept it and take it, or we fight back.
Yep.
Wow.
Usman, what do you say to that? Because
oh gosh, nice positive to finish on, isn't it, KJ? To answer the title, I'm going to the mosque after this to pray that Pep leaves the Premier League. That's the only way we can have any form of success. That if that man stays in the Premier League, you might as well just write us off for the next however long he stays, because there's no way under Oli we are, or this board for that matter, that we're going to compete with that level of backing, that level of ambition, just sheer desire to win trophies. As KJ rightly said, like, you know, the board is the major issue in it. It all stems from them. At the end of the day, look what Chelsea have done. They've sacked their manager mid-season. He wasn't doing he wasn't doing great, obviously. He was at 9th or whatever it was. But nevertheless, they sacked him. They got in a manager who thought, you know, is of quality. He's now in a quarterfinal beating Atletico Madrid. You know, he's doing well in other competitions as well. They're now in a fair sort of position to get top 4. And
Usman, you're Usman. You've lasted for the whole stream. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
The sound's gone. Oh, yes, it's back. Yes,
I'm back. And the Glazers heard me, man. I was like,
I know the Glazers know it's gone. They got detectors, fam. They know what
I was saying at the end of the day, as long as the Glazers stay in the next 5 years, we're probably not going to win shit, because they're not going to buy the players. The manager, Oli aside, it was on the same thing happened under Jose. He needed a centre back. Them man said you had Phil Jones and them man there. You know, Phil Jones is Smalling. You don't need Alderweireld. We got Phil Jones. Look, at the end of the day, they're the problem. Unless they go, we're not realistically going to move forward. It's sad to say it. So Glazers out, Ballad's out, as KJ would say.
Yeah, man. But boys, that is a great way to end the show, because I think we're all unanimous in that what the big problem is. We started off the show talking about Oli, but for those that are still watching, and it's not jumping on Ollie's back all of the time, we understand the bigger problem. But there are still times where we can point the blame at Oli, but there is a bigger agenda, and we're in trouble, man. We're in trouble. But gentlemen, I know you guys have got things to do, because people out here are still working after. This is what I'm talking about, work ethic. So gents, just before we sign out, again, just plug whatever you want to plug, man. Let the people know where they can find you. Starting with yourself, please, Bitz and Bobz. Unmute your mic.
Thank you so much for tonight, man. Great conversation. Good people, great company. So thank you very much. Obviously, my first time on views, so thanks for the debut. YouTube channel, Bitz and Bobz. You'll see Man United content. You'll see also got a new Liverpool podcast coming out. You'll see me do shows about mental health, racism, just different content, man. You know, something that you don't normally see on these football channels. And also every Saturday night, look out for that United podcast, that United show, sorry. On Football Terrace. And also a big show tomorrow night on my channel at 9 o'clock is the wrap up, where we discuss everything that's happened in sports and society weekly. So yeah, thank you again, man. Thanks, gentlemen. Nice to see you all again. So yeah, thanks, man.
Wicked. Over to you, please, Usman.
Yeah, first and foremost, it was my debut as well. So shout out Sam, the homie. Absolute pleasure coming on your platform. Obviously, you know I'm a big fan, man. Been plugging you every other show and that, you know, you love to see it. So obviously you can find me at Usman Talks United, regular Manchester United content. I also do a podcast on mental health as well. I've got Mel on Sabia's TV the coming weeks as well, talking about Asians out in Asian participation. So obviously be back to myself. So talking about underrepresentation within our community. So stay tuned for that one. But yeah, apart from that, just stay tuned here. Views, you'd love to see it, bro.
Wicked. KJ, tell them, man. Tell them about your thing.
Cool. So, talking about working, I will be still working my podcast. My show is on at 12 a.m. Midnight Vibes will be on. We're doing an international break special. So, come over to join that. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Go follow the Football Terrace. That's where the only place you can catch Midnight Vibes. So Football Terrace, go subscribe to them on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. That is when my show is. Follow me at elite_KJ for all your vibes, FC, and your resistance needs, my people. You know what I'm saying now. And obviously, final word. Thank you so much to Semps for having me on his channel. Everyone press the like button. Everyone smash subscribe.
Yes,
and also,
people. It's free. Come on.
Don't forget to send Woodward a message calling him a wallet on the YouTube page of Man United. Thank you very much. That is your leader of the resistance done.
Wicked, gentlemen. Now, gents, I just want to say it was a pleasure having all three of you on. All three of it's the first time you've been on here. I met obviously KJ, he had me on Midnight Vibes, and so I said the work ethic, man, is still there. Bits and Bobs, I've been watching his content for a while. I've wanted to connect, so I'm happy that we had a chance to connect today. And Usman, my guy, he had me on his show, and it's always a pleasure to jump on there and talk. And these are just great guys. So those of you that are in the comments, if you're not following them, please make sure you do so. And gentlemen, I appreciate your time. It's a Sunday night. It's now coming up to 11. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. But gentlemen, this was everyone's a pundit. You were my pundits. Until next week, people, we are out. Bless in